Ivorians are fun.
Funny, exciting.
This is you got me. Alright.
Funny. I don't know if I said funny, but funny.
Lit. I will say, when I say rude, I don't mean rude as in we're all rude, but you know, the cussing is just top tier. So I'll just say rude for the sake of rude, but you know what I mean.
Weird.
You know, all around, just good people. Very friendly people. We lady.
During 5 years in terms of getting people together where everybody was dispersed in the first place. I think we did that very effectively. So I can say everything we do is just excellent. The quality of our events to the way we work as a team and, you know, just what we even stand for, our values in bringing the community together. I think it's just excellence in general.
So I'd say basically, well, LDNXCI, the reason why I was excited and I wanted to join, the community of that they've created, the platform that they created, was because I wanted to celebrate Ivorian culture. I wanted to be a part of a group of young individuals who basically wanted to just make Ivorian culture thrive in a environment where everything was more about Nigerian and Ghanaian culture. So when obviously LDNXCI came with the idea to kind of like to do a whole party to celebrate our independence, I was more than happy to like jump on and help promote, help push it. And I think for me it was more so to kind of like go to an event where I can just dance to Ivorian music, maybe, and wear Ivorian clothes and eat Ivorian food and then meet new people. So because I didn't really grow up in the London Ivorian community, I kind of was in Cardiff, there is an Ivorian community, but it's not quite big. So when you come to London, there's a mass, I realized there's actually a lot of us here. So I got to meet some amazing people that I'm actually still friends with to this day, and that was basically the reason why I really do love LDNXCI. My name is Annabelle Morel. I am 23, a British Ivorian living here in the UK. I came to London when I was about 6-7 years old, and I've lived in Coventry ever since. I attended the 2017 event, and my best memory to me was finding a material, sewing my clothes, and then going there, and then the ambiance. It was amazing. The music was good, the vibes was good. When it was my puka and all the girls were kind of shaking their bum on the dance floor, and me too, I went to shake my small nyash. For me, I just felt like it was just amazing. It was the ambiance, the fact that everybody was there enjoying themselves, the fact that everybody was just moving to the music, and the music was just creating such a lovely atmosphere. I think that is what I would always remember. I love the way that they're basically trying to educate the British Ivorian community in the UK, especially either young or old. I don't think there's an age limit or an age gap. So it's almost like no matter how old or how young you are, you can relate to what's happening, because it's like they're not just trying to attract the young market, they're trying to also revive the older generation as well, so that they can support the younger generation. So it's almost like we're remembering that we're a community. So it's like we all have to come together in order for us to boost our community and to uplift our community. So that's what I really liked. That's what I really like about LDNXCI, to be honest. The founder, Christopher, I met Christopher, I think, before obviously the first event of LDNXCI, and I think since then we've been friends, and it's been maybe 4 years now that we've been friends, and he's an amazing person. I call him whenever I have anything to do with Ivorian or whatever that I need to talk to him about, and he's always there to kind of listen and hear me out and hear what I have to say in terms of ideas and stuff. And he's always coming up with new things to boost the community and to improve the community. And I think that's one person that I always, guys, I'm getting teary. That's one person that I always want to support in anything that he does, because of what sorry. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yes, please.
I think my three strengths are, I don't really take no for an answer. I mean, you can't tell me no. I'm sorry. So I would say resilient, hardworking. I think when I want to do something, I will get it done, whether I'm doing it by myself or in a team of 30 people. I'm just gonna do it regardless. I mean, people would say I'm funny, but I don't really see it. So I would say funny, outgoing, energetic, loud, crazy, scary, weird.
Alright, Chris is funny, fam. Can't lie, fam. Alright, Twitter, funny. But anyway, yeah, nah, Chris, big up him, because I'm not one of those people that just do things without realizing or see things without thinking, like, what did you do to get there type of thing. Like, it's like when man listens to music, I think like, where was you when you wrote this? Or the person that produced the beat, like, how did you produce a beat from scratch? When I see Chris here and I see all these motives, I'm thinking, bruv, like, this man has to rate my man's thing. God, none of this is cheap, you know. Like, none of this is cheap. Like, I think the first time you done something, LDNXCI, I think my sister was in a group chat and she was telling me, like, people are putting racks in this, like, bread. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, so it shows how you are as a person, because it's not like it's your party, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's your party, I'll be like, yeah, man, like, it's your party. Do you know what I mean? But you're doing it for the community, so it shows that you're, it's like, I don't know if I'm using it right in context, please. I don't know if the word is, you're selfless, like, you don't care about yourself, you care about everyone else.
Just let me know, I just want you to come round my place.
Josie, I'm an artist, been doing music for a while, I think 7 years, 25 years of age, grown up in the UK, born and raised in London. My background is BT, get me, what else would it be? And yeah. I could see myself in the future at a mad like stage in music, so I just thought, yeah, let me do it still. And my mum didn't know for a couple of years, so man, I tell her, yeah, like, she didn't know till I was like 22, 23, she didn't know, so yeah. But I don't know why, like, I feel like even if I was to come through in another world, I'd be Ivorian. Like, it's just, you get me? I wouldn't trade it for nothing, and I never would trade, even before LDNXCI. Like, people will ask me where you from, and I'll say Ivorian. Like, I wouldn't stutter and try to change the country, like, no, like, man's proud type thing. And I think because I've been there many times anyway on holiday, it's always been embedded in me. Like, I went there first when I was 6 or 7. Do you know what I mean? And I still got memories from that time. So yeah, like, in terms of, yeah, to answer your question. So the first hall party again, like, goes back to what I first said, like, raw, like, the Ivorians here, like, it was like shocking, but in a good way, like, raw, like, in a good sense. And it was good, man, seeing a lot of people come together, no issues. And it was like, j'étais en boîte, like, but in London. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was proper sick. In terms of performing, it was just like any other performance, really. Just smash it, do well, and then, do you know what I mean? They've always showed man love still. I think that's one of the reasons why I would never try to do the big boy thing and say man's not coming to this, because they've been definitely like supporting man from the beginning, like in terms of booking me for shows, promoting my music. I've even heard my name in couple lives, like when people talk in Instagram live saying support each other. I've heard my name, like people have sent me videos of people saying my name, promoting my stuff. So yeah, LDNXCI definitely played their part in trying to promote my movements. So.
I think that's what LDNXCI has done, is kind of opened the doors for us to be able to kind of communicate with other, you know, cultures. Because I think from the LDNXCI first, you know, hall party, somebody else was able to do like a Congolese, you know, hall party as well, which was great, because then it's like influencer. No, I'm joking, but yeah, you're able to kind of like influence other people to kind of say, I want to uplift my community as well in this particular way. I know that as I'm sitting here, they're planning more things that are going to be, you know, so engaging. Although, yeah, it will probably resolve around, like, there will be some events and all that kind of stuff, but I know there are going to be some things that's going to obviously uplift the people back home. So I'm actually so excited with what projects that they have coming out.
Yannick Jones, aka Jimmy, à l'état civil Yannick Koufoué. Je vis à Londres. Ça fait plus de 20 ans maintenant que je suis à Londres, mais je suis né à Abidjan. Je suis arrivé à Londres pour me réunir avec la famille. Et ouais, je vis aussi au sud de Londres. J'ai fini mes études, après ça maintenant j'ai commencé la musique.
Pardon, il fait sa pion. Tu jettes l'argent, il prend sa pion. Ma jolie petite bagnole, quand il le dépasse, ils entendent fion. Mon nègre, patron des chats noirs, il dit, la nuit on l'appelle mion.
Rap Ivoire, en fait, c'est un peu l'influence. C'est l'influence de Londres mélangée avec mon côté ivoirien, l'ivoirien que je suis, tu vois. Rap Ivoire, c'est le rap ici, c'est ce qui est populaire à Londres, tu vois. Et c'est comme ça a commencé quand je faisais ça ici. Et maintenant c'est juste un truc. J'ai commencé en anglais, la musique à Londres. Et après maintenant, Rap Ivoire, c'est comme si tout a fait un 360, c'est revenu au début. Et maintenant je peux m'exprimer. Pas, comment on dit, fruit de la musique, pas la musique en français. Bon, LDNCI, la plateforme, d'abord moi, c'est par rapport à leur événement que moi j'ai connu la plateforme, c'est-à-dire la première fois je suis allé à un de leurs événements. C'était vraiment bien, ça faisait du bien d'être à Londres parce qu'à Londres la communauté on est un peu séparée souvent. Et ça faisait bien de me retrouver dans un coin où il y avait, en tout cas, si pas que des Ivoiriens, il n'y avait que des Ivoiriens. En tout cas, ça il était en jaille. Maintenant, bon, au fur et à mesure, les réseaux sociaux, les réseaux sociaux ont pris le dessus et j'ai vu leur plateforme sur les réseaux sociaux. Moi, ça m'a vraiment rendu content en fait, tu vois, parce que à Londres ici, depuis on est ici, on n'a pas vraiment on a une forte communauté, mais on n'a pas une forte communauté en même temps. C'est-à-dire, comme je sais pas si peut-être c'est parce que ici c'est un peu anglophone, mais dès qu'on arrive ici, c'est chacun fait ce qu'il a fait. Depuis toujours, ça a toujours été comme ça, mais avec LDNC, j'ai vu que ça regroupait au fait. Pour une compagnie qui n'a pas vraiment besoin de m'aider ou bien de faire quelque chose pour moi, pour ce qu'ils ont fait, vraiment j'apprécie quoi. J'apprécie ça et les manières, ça dit même moi, ça dit si quelqu'un même juste un like, un commentaire, un post, ça me suffit. J'ai pas besoin que la personne me repose chaque jour ou bien si même quelqu'un a joué ma musique sans même poster sur les réseaux sociaux, déjà c'est déjà bon. Autant, moi je suis arrivé ici, c'était un peu compliqué, on ne connaissait pas trop la Côte d'Ivoire. Donc il devait t'expliquer beaucoup pour expliquer d'où tu venais. Ça c'est un. Mais après, Doba a fait le travail. Hein. Dès qu'il a fait le travail maintenant, quand il dit tu viens de Côte d'Ivoire, mais avant c'était pas comme ça.
So I'm Norian. I'm a presenter, YouTuber, and currently aspiring director. And yeah, I'm Ivorian. So yeah.
Welcome if you're new and welcome back, girl. If you are already subscribed, talking of subscription, you already know what I'm gonna say. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and let's get this show on the road.
To be quite honest with you, I really thought, oh, okay, so this exists. Because in reality, I thought I was a lone wolf, you know, in this life. So when I thought, okay, so I've always known there was like a huge community of us. I just had never met anyone from Ivory Coast, apart from family members. Everyone told me they all live in Peckham. I live in East London, so you know, just didn't go. So when you guys approached me, I just thought, oh, so not only is there a whole community, they know about me. So I thought, I was really excited. Honored, of course, and also a little bit scared. I don't know if that showed, but yeah, mostly excited, honored. When I say excited, it's just because that's the first time I really found out that in London there's a lot of us, because sometimes it's hard to find. At the time I grew up, it's very different because obviously when I was younger, I just remember taking constant trips to Paris. You know, that's the only place we travel to. But so you go there, there's loads of us there, so you know, that's what I was used to. But then when you go to school and people ask you where you're from, nobody knows. So initially when I was in primary school, no one knew where I was from. No one even had heard of it. But then you grow up and then the first thing they say to you, DJ Drogba. And you're like, all right, mate. After a while, it's boring. Give us a new joke. But it's mainly a case of, like I said, not really being able to relate to everybody around you, because everyone, especially in the UK, is either Ghanaian, Nigerian, and if they do speak French, majority of the time they're Congolese. So it was just the case of not being able to relate to people. But luckily for myself, I never saw it as a problem. I know some people, they would have to lie and say that they're from Ghana or something, you know, but it was okay for me. It was all right. No shade to whoever. Obviously, we speak French and stuff like that. So all other countries, they mostly speak English. But I don't think it's not hindered me. I've not really met anybody in my industry that's from the same country as me, especially here in the UK. I didn't have any view of any Ivorians in the UK. I just knew that they all live in Peckham. That's what I was told. So when I started working with you guys, it was more so a case of building my perception of you guys, so of Ivorians. I'm saying you guys, I'm part two, but yeah, it was more so building my perception of Ivorians. So it mainly, like I said, just opened my eyes. I definitely made connections, definitely met people that you can relate to on a deeper level rather than your interests and hobbies. You can relate to them based on where you come from, and that is quite important, I would say. So, you know, when you talk about, for example, if you put a group of Ivorians, especially when we're a bit older, the topics are the same. So, you know, politics is too much headache, but here it's a bit more fun, you know, and we can relate to each other. Just mainly like age range and just the fact that it's a platform solely for Ivorians. And you guys, you know, sometimes, even on your Instagram, it's just funny, isn't it? There's a variety of stuff on there.
These past 5 years have been hard, stressful. It was worth the experience. LDNXCI, it's just a family, it's a community, it's just a group of young Ivorians getting together, celebrating and promoting the culture and just being a family more so, that's what it is. Yeah, so the 5-year plan, I can definitely see us literally sponsoring a lot more people's education. I can see us literally investing so much in schools, renovating schools. I think our big thing is education. I feel like education and providing opportunities more so. So I see myself and the entire group doing a lot more work there. Literally building schools, building education centres, providing more opportunities in terms of work. I think that's even 5 years is even too far. I think all of this literally within the next year, LDNXCI. I can probably say in about 2015, that's when I was just like, okay, yeah, we need to do this thing kind of thing. Like one day in December like this, I was just like, yeah, let's make a group chat with like my cousins and a couple of other people I grew up with. I was like, let's make a group chat. Let's just get like the Ivorians inside it, and let's make a society basically. Like let's get young Ivorians together and network. Because obviously we grew up in a time where there's actually not that many Ivorians in fact, I'm not going to say there's not that many, because there's actually quite a lot, but we don't have a community. That's the issue. So I said, okay, let's get together, let's create this platform, and let's just go from there basically. And that's how LDNXCI was formed. I think the biggest struggle at the beginning was, I could probably say finances. I can say setting up, starting out, having funds to actually do this was very hard, because I was 16 when I first started, so I just came out of GCSEs, first year in college, and I was working at the time so I just started working, and surprisingly I was actually the youngest in the group, so everyone was pretty much working and in uni, and then there was a couple of us in college as well, working or not working, so that's how we kind of started. And I'll probably say the biggest issue was the finances at the time. You know, I saw myself literally go into college and banging out overtime literally just so we could have enough money to afford pulling off the actual event, or the first event, which was very hard at the time £2,000 seemed like £1,000,000, but now literally that's probably the cost of one of our expenses on the budget for our event. So I think the biggest challenge is obviously finances and also the commitment of other people. You know, sometimes when you're building something, it's hard to get people to be in line with your vision. You know, everybody wants to be involved in it, everybody wants to help out at the time, but when it actually gets to carrying the burden and carrying the actual issues of the team and meeting deadlines and, you know, getting things done, it's very hard. A lot of people find it very hard, and, you know, people do have to make the choice of whether they want to stay or go. So I think maybe one of the biggest challenges I faced was actually having people leave the team in a time where we needed them, either in terms of finances or in terms of just support and extra hands, basically. So I think that's about it, yeah. I grew up in northwest London. A lot of people don't even think I was born in England to even begin with. I was born in England, northwest London, born and raised. So growing up, I actually didn't grow up around a lot of Ivorians, if I'm very honest with you. So I literally, I was in school with a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians more so, and obviously Jamaican people as well. So not even any Francophone people actually growing up in school. It was mainly like English-speaking African countries and, you know, other black communities. So growing up, I wasn't really Ivorian like that, but I was still a bit of a fob. Like I said, I was eating futu with sauce graine in my packed lunch. That I'm sitting out putting in the microwave and I'm eating it, kind of thing. Like I was doing that. I've always been that kind of like African boy, even though my teachers knew that already from the beginning. I've always just been like that. So I think, yeah, that's always been my culture growing up. And I also used to go to France and Ivory Coast a lot. I've been going to Ivory, I can't even count how many times I've literally been going since I was a baby. Like I think the first time I went, I was 6 months. Then I would literally go like maybe every 3 years after that. Now I go every year kind of thing. But I was heavily like linked with my culture. But that's when I go to Ivory Coast. In the UK, I didn't really have anything tie me to my culture. I'm even the one that told my mom to join the association from her tribe, kind of thing. Like I told you, I was like, yeah, you're joining, kind of thing. Yeah, because my mom, she's Ivorian, but she like, my parents have never been in the Ivorian community like that because we live far as well. So yeah, that's pretty much been it. So even when I go to events and I do stuff, people are saying, oh, those are your parents. Oh, those are your parents, kind of thing. Because it's me they know more so as opposed to my parents. But for me personally, I can say growing up, it's only about maybe in like year 10 that I was like, oh wait, like I'm actually Ivorian, kind of thing. Like sometimes I'll forget, like I always knew I was Ivorian, but in terms of actual emphasis on my culture and me literally promoting Ivory Coast the way I do now, it's probably been about since year 10. So I think from there, that's when I kind of started learning more and teaching myself more about Ivorian history and asking my parents questions and stuff like that. So I think that's where it all stems from for me.
Independence parties, talent showcases, and many more events just to promote.
Organising the first hall party. Do you know what? Initially, it wasn't meant to be a hall party. It was actually supposed to be like an Ivory Coast party in the park kind of event. That's what it was meant to be. But when we actually started doing, you know, the things for it, the process for it, the démarche and everything, there was too many logistics involved basically. So we were just like, okay, we're actually gonna just do a hall party. It's easier. At the time, that's what everyone was doing as well. So there was the Viva hall party going on, which they established their brand through their, you know, repetitive independence events. So we said, why not throw an event for Ivorian independence? So that's what we did. And yeah, I think we had quite a big team at the time, but there was only about 4 to 5 people that were actually serious about the actual planning of it. So it was very overwhelming because at the time I started doing my A-levels and I was doing very heavy subjects and stuff like that. So it was a bit hard for me to kind of balance everything at the same time. And then especially when there's the issue with finances and I'm working as well and I'm trying to balance everything, that it was very hard. But pulling it off at the end, I can say I learned so many skills in the process. Like there's so many things that I learned in terms of even professionalism, in terms of event planning, because I didn't really have any experience about events. I just like to party. I like to entertain people. So I just thought, like, why not just do it? I can say I wanted to give up after the third hall party, so 2018, I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was in a place where, I don't know, I just felt like I'm doing a lot. I'm not really getting anything in return. And when I started it wasn't to get anything. I'm not really in it for the money. I'm not really doing it, but it's more so the community. A lot of people were actually taking the event that we're doing for granted. When I'm seeing that we're doing events and people are coming late, or people aren't respecting the dress code and all of that stuff, it's just like we're going into a lot of, I would say, time and effort to give you a lot of quality event, but then people don't want to do as much as come on time kind of thing. It's like you're not benefiting from the full experience. I was just like, you know what, I don't even think I'm interested in doing all of this. And I know that there's a lot of people that are coming up now in the community and that want to take like get into the events thing. So I was just like, you know what, let them do it. But that year nothing happened. No one was doing anything in the community. Even in our Instagram page, we were quite inconsistent as well in terms of the posting. That my mind wasn't even there anymore. I was just like, but then I kind of think that probably about last year, so after we decided to take a break from everything, I think, I kind of started getting in touch with knowing myself a bit more, and actually getting a mentor. So in this year, I think a lot has changed in terms of the vision. So how do I remain motivated? Is by seeing the vision, by me being able to picture not what I'm doing for myself, but the goal, like why we set up in the first place. It wasn't for me, it wasn't for doing events in the first place. It was literally to get people together. It was literally to be able to create a community that can empower our homeland. That's what it's always been about. So I think not losing sight of that vision has allowed me to continue to push through. Everything we do in the community, really and truly, I think we've done a lot already, and we want to expand this globally. There's a community in France that can benefit from what we do. There's our country that we need to build. I tell myself, listen, why fight to be in a country that doesn't really accept you or recognize you? Why not take the skills and everything you've learned and go and build your home? You lot want to rely on the governments there, but we know that they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything, so what do we need to do? We need to be able to use our initiative and use the education that we have here and everything we've seen and literally just build. But once again, we can only do that as a community. We can't do that as individuals. So as much as everybody needs everybody, I need everybody. I need the community in order to do the things that we want to do. So I think together there's a lot of things we can do and literally just make our country the country that it should be.